Tanya, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another speed build. This video is actually a little bit different than my typical speed builds, and some of you guys might have been expecting this, but this is an Instagram followers create my build or pick my build challenge, which I thought was super fun to do. So basically what I did is last weekend, I took to Instagram on my story. If you don't follow me, I am MsGryphi on Instagram and all other social medias, and I did a collection of polls, and the first one was, should it be house 1 or house 2, as you can see on screen right now. And house 1 won by a landslide. I wasn't surprised, but I wanted to give 2 variations of builds I'd like to build at some point, because I've been liking more modern builds, and I feel like even though this definitely doesn't have that stereotypical modern shape, this is still kind of a modern home, and I really like how it came out in the end. So that was poll number 1. I did a bunch of other polls for different parts of the house and took your suggestions. So it does have a little bit of a mix-matched feeling on the inside, a bunch of different styles, primarily modern, but a couple things that are not quite up to date. So maybe this house just hasn't been fully updated yet, but I thought it was a really fun idea to go ahead and do this. I've seen other people do it in the past, and I thought I'd finally give it a go. It was really cool looking through some images of houses that I thought were really pretty and seeing what you guys liked best. But we're getting close to the outside shape of this house. We fiddled with it for a long time. I really liked how this house looked. The little glass portion obviously isn't exact because we can't really have that type of roof with the glass on it. If you can, I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I did get a glass portion up there, which I really liked. And then that paneling that we have in the front, or the like black slats in the front of the house, we weren't able to do exact. So I used these and sized them down, and I think it gave a similar feeling to the one in the picture. So I hope you guys do agree and like that. It's different. I never would have thought to do this, and it does look a little weird, but I do think it's kind of cool. It's just something I never would have thought to do. So, you know, it was nice to go ahead and try something new. I also want to mention that some of these percentages might not be what you saw when you voted, if you voted in this, because I took them when I was ready to film this video, or when I was ready to collect the images for it. So there might be votes that like swayed one way or the other back and forth depending on when you saw it, because a couple of them were very close. So I, had to just pick a time to grab them, and that's what we went with. As you can see, I'm adding a garage over there, which is not something that was pictured in this image, but this is a really big lot I decided to place this house on, which I thought fit really well in Del Sol Valley. So that is where we decided to place it, and that extra garage ends up being actually a kind of extra apartment. Maybe one of the kids has grown up and has just moved out to the extra house on the lot, which I really liked. We also end up fitting a pool out here because that was one of the polls. I believe it was my last poll. Should we have a pool or no pool? And by landslide, having a pool absolutely won. So we added a pool, but that came early on, even though that was the final poll, I believe. So my cat is crying in the background, so I apologize if you can hear him. But we're just doing a little bit of landscaping here, which I primarily cut out. And I also cut out like all the hallways and every bathroom except for one, because one of the bathrooms was one of the things we voted on. So I made a bathroom that looked like the one in the picture. And all the other bathrooms look very similar, but they're not in the build because this took a really long time to do. But I'm very happy with how it came out. So we're just doing a little bit more of making some planter boxes back here, showing a little bit of it, but not fully showing, filling it in with plants, just so you guys get a general idea of how the shape came about, the thought process, seeing me place things when I place them, and then all of a sudden, magically, there's plants in them in a little bit. But I left a little bit of it in, mostly just the trees and a couple of bushes. But this is the beautiful pool. I really like the shape of it. I know it's very simple, but I tend to just do like rectangles and squares. So I was like, I'm going to do a diagonal. This is fancy. It's not really that fancy. And of course, added those lounger chairs, which I absolutely adore doing that. I wish we'd eventually get lounger chairs in The Sims 4, but the gurus have explained time and time again why that hasn't happened, because it's like a lot of intricate, I guess, animations. So hopefully one day, but it wouldn't be in a stuff pack. So they've confirmed that. And then we are on to the kitchen, which was poll number 2, because I love kitchens. And this one went back and forth and was so close so many different times. This changed a bunch of different times, but when I grabbed the screenshots, kitchen number 2 won. I think both of these kitchens are really cool. Although I feel like kitchen number 1 is like way more traditional. So I was actually kind of happy that when I grabbed these, kitchen number 2 was ahead by just a little bit, because even though it's not really a modern style, it's more like an industrial vibe. At least that's how I interpret it. I feel like it fit this house a lot better than kitchen number 1 would have, even though that kitchen is really, really pretty. So I was really happy to go ahead and try and build this. And I do want to say that as we go throughout this build, nothing is 100% accurate. It's also incredibly hard to do that when you are building a house and trying to fit rooms into it. That is all stuff you're kind of trying to smush together. I'm trying to put a bunch of different houses together because these rooms obviously don't actually belong in that house. So some of the rooms are more accurate than others. I think as we go, they get less accurate because I had to just conform to the floor plan. So I think the bedroom we end up doing ends up being the least accurate out of the rooms in this, but I really like how the kitchen came out. The living room's okay. I love the bathroom and I love the exterior of the house. I also want to mention before I forget, one of the polls that I put up is how many bedrooms should we have, 3 or 4? And 4 won that vote, so there are 4 bedrooms in this house. 3 are in this house, and then 1 is in that little apartment in the garage. So that's exciting. We have 4 bedrooms. And once I did that vote and then I was looking at this house, I was actually really worried that we weren't going to be able to do that, because I was like, oh no, this house is going to be way too small for that. But no, it's very spacious. There was tons of room. I'm putting all kinds of cute clutter up here on these shelves. I really like adding those wine glasses, but they are a debug item and they will get stinky after a little while, but I thought they would look nice just for screenshots and accuracy. I tried to do some of the clutter as accurate as possible, but some of it is just based on what we have in the game and what I thought would look nice. Like I said, not everything in this is going to be super accurate. It's just as close as I can get it and making a couple of changes along the way based on what I think would look nice. I also really liked adding this shelf on the other side of the island counter because it kind of has a raised part in the picture. It looks like it's marble, but there wasn't an item that particularly worked with that. I tried using the marble table, like side table we have, but it just didn't work right. So I just added a shelf up there and I thought it looked pretty cute in the end. And now we're in the dining room, which I did not do a vote for this. I just wanted to do one of the rooms, kitchen or dining, and I love kitchen, so I wanted some inspiration. And I thought I'd make a dining room that kind of matched that color scheme and I thought fit really well. So that's what we did here. Just have this beautiful table from Fitness Stuff with the chairs, that lovely fireplace that I believe came with cats and dogs, I want to say, and some really cute stuff around. Lots of plants like always, and a beautiful bar area. I don't add bars as often as I feel like I should. I really like them. And we use the same cabinetry that we use in the kitchen and just adding a little cork, no, it's not a cork board, that is a chalkboard, some wine, some more plants, and we're into the living room. So I put up a vote for 2 different living rooms, and this is one that kind of went back and forth a lot as well, but most of the time when I was looking at it, living room number 2 won, which this is the room in the house that I feel like kind of clashes with the style of the rest of it a little bit. And I had to make some changes here and there, but I do think it looks nice. I don't think it looks super old school. I feel like it's kind of supposed to look a little bit modern, but the way it's furnished in the picture isn't necessarily that way. And I did try using this really yellowish wallpaper, but I did get rid of it in the end and put a little bit of a toned down wallpaper, which I think made more sense. But I do overall like how this room came out. Like I said, I imagine because of the kind of weird style mixing in this house, that this house was probably renovated at some point. And this room is, not fully, it hasn't gotten a new fresh coat of paint yet. I just feel like if the walls were all white and it had different furniture, it would look great. Like the fireplace can stay where it is. It could be the same fireplace. That would be fine. I just feel like it just needs a fresh coat of paint to match the rest of the house, but I do like how it came out anyway. I think this is a really interesting room that I never would have built this way. So I think that's the coolest thing about this challenge, is getting you guys to vote on what you'd like to see, but also me getting to try some new styles that I'm not particularly very fond of or haven't had a lot of experience with. And although I did primarily go for modern stuff, obviously a couple of the things in here are a little bit different, which when we get to the bathroom, you will see the options, because we should be going to the bathroom soon, right about now. So I had 2 options here, very drastically different, and they were really close too. I had a very, very woodsy sort of industrial bathroom that I thought was gorgeous, and I'd love to build something like that. And then I had this like very clean, modern with like brick accent walls bathroom, and that's the one that ended up winning in the end. So I think that matched the house better, but I did, you know, put a little bit of variety in there so we could try a couple of different styles depending on what you guys voted on. So it was kind of cool to create this beautiful white bathroom, and I think I did it pretty well. One thing I will say though is that this sink will not work. I raised it up because I wanted it to look as accurate as possible to the picture. So all the other sinks in the bathroom will work, or you can just delete the counter underneath it and like lower the sink back down for this sink to work. But that's the only thing. And also this bathroom doesn't have a shower because, well, I wanted it to be accurate to the picture, and there wasn't really a place in this room to put a shower. So this is a very big bathroom, but it only has a toilet and a sink, and the sink doesn't work. So it's a toilet room. Apologies for that. But there are, I believe, 3 other bathrooms on the property, 2 other ones in the house, and then 1 in the garage area in that little apartment. And they all have showers in them. I did not record those though because they're very similar to this bathroom, and it would have been a really, really long video if I had included all of those, so I didn't even bother recording them. But they are very simple, and they will be in the screenshots at the end. And the same thing goes for the hallways. I did record them, but I cut them out. All of like the extraneous stuff that wasn't part of the rooms, I did go ahead and cut out. And now we are on to the bedroom. This one, I was actually shocked. Bedroom number 2 won by a landslide, which I was kind of happy about because I like bedroom number 1. So having to build bedroom number 2 was a little bit different for me. I really love gray and like whites and just, I don't know, I really like gray. That's basically why they both have gray in them. But I really wanted to build bedroom number 1, but we did bedroom number 2, and obviously we don't have the exact same stuff in the game, and I decided to choose this bed even though there's a base game bed that has more similar colors. I thought this one kind of felt more like the shape of the bed for some reason, so I did go ahead and use that. And this is the room that I said I think is the least accurate because the orientation of this room did not allow for there to be giant glass windows on the left side of the bed looking out into like a patio area, so it's not accurate in that regard. But I did try and have the same like bedside tables, the shelves above the bed with the paintings on it, and the lights above those bedside tables. I almost called them headboards. And of course a little ottoman over here, which would normally be in front of a window, but it's not in this one. I also added a couple of useful items in here, like a vanity, and we added a dresser, I believe, as well, and some decorations, of course. And I think it came out pretty cute. It's, like I said, least accurate, but there's only so much you can do when you're trying to squeeze a bunch of rooms into a house that, you know, don't really fit into the house. So I did the best I can, or the best I could. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think. And I believe that's it for the polls, because we had the house, the kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, the bedroom, how many bedrooms, and if we should have a pool or not. So the remainder of this build is just going to be me finishing up all of the other rooms after we finish this one. So yay, all the polls are done. If you guys would like to see me do another one of these types of things with Instagram followers pick my build again, or I was thinking about maybe doing an Instagram followers pick my sim where I can ask you a bunch of different questions on Instagram and we can create a sim that way. I think that could be really, really fun. Let me know what you guys do think about that, because I'm looking for some new ideas for 2019. I'm really excited about the new year, and hopefully there'll be some really cool content coming up. But this is a kid's bedroom. I believe the only kid's bedroom, because I have, other than this, there is a teen bedroom in this house, and then the like guest house area is not guest house, like separate apartment is kind of like young adult, I would assume. But this kid's room is so cute. I really liked using these beds and dressers from Cats and Dogs, which I don't use that often because I think they're really, really childish. And I like slightly more grown up kids' rooms because I never had anything like this as a kid. It was always like slightly more grown up, so that's what I associate with. But these were really, really cute, and I loved the colors. The green and the blue go really nice together, and I did not shy away from blue in this build at all. We all know that I love using blue. And this room doesn't have blue in it though. This is the teenage room that I was building, that I kind of imagine that the teenager that lives in this room is really into movies and music. So basically the weird thing is I feel like I was basing this room off of the interests of my boyfriend, but off of the colors that he hates. He likes like black and red and purple, and I was like, here's green and yellow, and he particularly hates the color yellow. So this is like my boyfriend's personality, and all of the colors he hates in one room. So I thought this was a really fun build, or this room was really cool. I used a lot of the mid-century furniture that we got from Get Famous. This beautiful rug and table from, or not table, it's a bed. Beautiful rug and bed from City Living. And I just really like the colors in here. I think it's really fun. And then we also have a small office in the main building. I had originally been thinking this could be a small bedroom, but I thought it made more sense to make it an office and have the garage be like a whole apartment, because otherwise I don't know what I was going to put in the garage. I feel like this house already had a lot of the stuff I wanted, and I didn't feel like this household felt like one that would have like a workbench area and stuff like that. And I didn't include laundry in this house. But one thing I did include, which I don't think I put some of it was filmed, some of it was not, is there's everything you need for a cat or a dog in this house. There is a kitty litter box in one of the bathrooms, and then there are bowls throughout the house. There is a thing for all kinds of toys. I think there's a scratching post in one of the rooms, so you can have a cat or a dog in this house if you guys want to download this. And if you would like to download this house, it should be on the Sims 4 gallery right now if you search Griffy or the hashtag MsGryphi. It's probably called like Instagram followers pick my build, or Instagram build, or something along those lines. So it should be pretty easy to find. But this is the apartment. I kind of talked over part of it, but I think it came out pretty cute. It's very blue and orange, and I think that's a really fun color scheme. So there's a lot of blue in this build, but I think there's a lot of very neutral colors too. I try and bring colors into the bedrooms because I think it makes the personalities that would live in these rooms come alive a little bit. But that's pretty much it. We're just going to be finishing this up, adding a TV area, a nice little office area, and adding a couple of decorations here and there. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I thought this was so fun to do. I would love to do something like this again. So please let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. And of course, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a video. But that's pretty much it. I think this came out so cute and this was so much fun. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday next week, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye, everybody.